Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Black Mirror series. This is episode 1 of season 5, which I think for some reason is another short season. I think there's only 3 episodes again this season. I wonder why that was. But yeah, this is the first episode and it is called Striking Vipers. Now what do I know about this episode? This is a first for this channel. I've been reacting to stuff for 2 years now. This is the single Black Mirror episode I have seen before. So this is a first for the channel. I have seen this episode before. So I guess how I'll do this is, you know, give you what I remember from the episode, which I feel like I've got the basic general gist of the entire plot still in my head, because, you know, all these Black Mirror episodes are very memorable for their uniqueness of concept. But I notice it's an hour long, and in my head, it feels like the story should be like, you know, a little 30-minute story. So there must be elements and scenes I'm forgetting which warrants a 1 hour runtime. But yeah, so from what I remember, it's about 2 dudes with like a futuristic Oculus Rift which controls your entire senses when you put the headset on. So it's not just your vision, it's your touch, your feeling, your smell, your taste, your sound, all of that, right? So these 2 guys who I think like they're distant friends who used to play video games, and then they meet at something and one dude's like, yo man, remember we used to play that shit? They got this crazy technology now, get it and I'll get you a game. So they both get these headsets and they play this Striking Vipers game, which, you know, is a one-on-one beat 'em up. I think even the name Striking Vipers is incredibly similar to a real one from the 90s or 2000s called Fighting Vipers, which I think was a real 2D beat 'em up. So yeah, it looks like your typical, you know, modern Tekken or whatever, and they both pick characters. I think it's like a sort of Ryu and a Chun-Li, if my memory serves me correctly. And basically, they end up fucking within the game as those 2 characters. And it's very good, because, you know, those 2 simulated characters can probably do all sorts of magical sex shit normal human beings can. And they become addicted to going into the game, and at first they're very like almost embarrassed that they'd hooked up that time. Even though, I mean, here's a question as well with this concept. Is it gay? Because, like, at the end of the day, one guy is getting to fuck Chun-Li. I mean, who wouldn't want to fuck Chun-Li? That is certainly not gay. But then the other dude is getting to fully become a female and get fucked by Ryu. Is he gay? It's a really strange moral question when they've literally fully taken on these digital forms in all forms of sense. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's not gay, because at the time the dude was legitimately digitally a female. I don't know how the fuck you would work out the politics behind that. I'll leave it to Twitter. And then I think at one point, if I remember correctly, they agree that they have to stop doing it, or their girlfriends find out what they're doing and demand they have to stop. And from what I can remember, the episode ends with them being like, yeah, fuck that, we're addicted to this now. And it just ends with them, you know, forever going into their VR headsets and fucking. I think that's how it plays out. If I've forgotten anything, obviously we soon shall see, but this will be an interesting experience for me, and I guess even for future's sake, a little bit of a trial run, because, you know, people are in 2 minds as to whether or not they would ever want to see me watch something I'd seen again. You know, for example, all my favourite TV shows, or all the fucking most legendary ones basically, Sopranos, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, Boardwalk Empire, and part of me would love to take something I love so much that I have seen and watch it through with you guys again, to, you know, spot things I never noticed before, or give a better analysis than I usually could, because I'm actually knowledgeable about it, such as my Fallout reactions which are currently going on. And yeah, I know part of you guys are just like, nah, that is not exciting to us. What is exciting to us is watching you experience it for the first time. So I do understand both points of view. Me personally as a reactor, I love watching new shit, but I would also love to, you know, rewatch things that I think are some of my favourite stuff, and you guys get to watch me enjoy some of my favourite things and give you my thoughts on some of my favourite things, if that makes sense. But you know, I'm easy, I always go with a majority, and so far the majority hasn't wanted me to rewatch anything, but when I mentioned to my Patreons that I had seen a single episode of Black Mirror, they were like, fuck it, it's really still worth it if all you've ever seen is that one episode. So that led to this show getting voted in the first place, so they knew from the jump I'd seen this episode. You guys on YouTube are knowing for the first time that I'd seen this, and I know this is a really long intro, especially for a Black Mirror episode, which are usually like 20 seconds, I know nothing, click start. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. This is the single first thing I have ever seen before on this reaction channel, so after 2 years, this is a bit of a weird first. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, you know, I want to see what I did remember, what I got wrong, and what I missed the first time that I'm going to catch this time. So let's check it out. This is Striking Vipers, episode 1, season 5 of Black Mirror. Let's go. Well, the first thing that I forgot was how beautiful this opening shot is. I mean, the contrast of the orange coming from the street there and the blues and purples on the right side of the screen with a little bit of red from the club entry point. It's just the most perfect combination of lighting and shit. I wonder how long it took them to set up that shot. Oh, yo, fuck off. Was that Anthony Mackie? Like, I'm not a big Marvel fan, but obviously I know who this guy is. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's the Falcon.
Hey.
Loving his camo tiger Japanese varsity jacket there. That is some gangster shit. I want that jacket.
Pretty girl like you.
Okay. Corny.
Gotta respect her instant honesty. At least she set the bar for him.
Right on time.
Hey, Carl.
Hey, what up, girl?
Or was that him actually just having fun with his already girlfriend? There's a couple I remember hearing about, and once a year they both go out to a nightclub separately and try and reenact the ritual of having to, you know, charm her again. And then at the end of the night they hook up, obviously, because they're already a couple. So you know they're fucking on the first night. That slut. No, I'm joking. But yeah, so, you know, it's not an uncommon phenomenon that I'm aware of. Seriously, the lighting choices throughout this episode are fucking beautiful. I don't know who you attribute that to, but the combinations in almost every scene of the blues mixed with oranges and shit like that, and reds and things, it's just amazing. Again, here, it's like they're using the same colour theme throughout the whole episode, but just subtly in different scenes, because again we're getting oranges and blues combined. And obviously they always look the best when combined because they're polar opposites on the colour spectrum. And again, orange nail polish, sort of blue bedsheet. Maybe I'm just noticing things that ain't there, but I swear this is stylistically on purpose. And orange and blues on the screen, orange earplug.
What more?
No, man. It's too late.
Decision made.
I'd have went Nagato all day, gotta pick the ninja. They've got low damage but high speed. Unless you're playing an RPG, then they have high damage and low health. I know the ninja build in every video game.
Too damn loud.
You want some of this?
Baby.
You can always chill someone out you've just woken up if they smoke weed and you have a joint to offer them upon waking them. Wow, didn't realise this episode contained foreshadowing. Definitely missed that the first time I watched it. Could have at least lubed them up with spit first.
38.
Ooh, 40s are coming.
It's actually crazy how much I legitimately believe that 11 years have passed, that he's just basically the same dude with a little beard and glasses.
Maxwell, we don't kick. No kicking.
20 years later, Maxwell lost a UFC title fight via leg kick in the second round. Shit parenting. You know how I was talking about how it's an hour-long episode and I felt like there was elements I was forgetting within it? I guess it was just the normal family shit, you know? I just remembered the outlandish technological side of it, but forgot they rounded and built these family characters around these two guys to make the decisions that they were making more important because they were affecting those around them.
How long?
However long, it feels longer.
Why'd you cut off the baby dreads, mate? That shit was fresh. Looking like old dog from Menace to Society.
All right.
Danny's out back.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if it's just the way the actors look, but if I was to think which one of these two guys would probably, you know, be bisexual but have never explored it, I'll put it in those terms. It would probably the guy coming to visit. Anthony Mackie's character strikes me as a legitimately straight dude with nothing like suppressed in him.
Can't beat a little home cooking.
I mean, that guy might as well have said that line directly to his asshole.
Handshake. What am I like, infected or something?
Yeah, he wants dick to dick, man. There you go.
Happy birthday.
Oh, wow. When'd you start using gift bags?
Gift bags as well. Wow, the foreshadowing was powerful.
X. Striking Vipers. X. Newest installment came out just yesterday.
First of all, that would be an amazing gift to receive from a friend you haven't seen in so long. Second of all, I love that even the box is slightly alien, so you know it's for a console that doesn't exist yet. The only thing that's wrong about this episode is there would no way he would be gifting him a physical copy in whatever year this is set in. That shit would be installed directly into the dude's brain.
Just take the damn thing, would you? Seriously, you're gonna flip the fuck
That's the same company that had the San Junipero clicky things, yeah? It makes sense this company would sort of monopolize the industry if they got there first with the technology, so they would branch it into genuine medical purposes, but also entertainment purposes like movies, video games, pornography, etc.
You wax your ball sack? I'm sure as shit those young dudes do.
Okay, that's a really, really personal question.
Gleaming like an 8 ball.
If you're a single bachelor, I guess in this day and age, that's the lengths you gotta go to, you know?
So here she is, gang.
You want to share that with the class?
Probably best you keep that one to yourself if you want to sleep in bed tonight and not on a sofa.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
She can't be mad at him on his birthday for his friend showing him a photo, do you know what I mean? Surely it is just a bit of harmless fun.
It's your birthday. Come on.
You just get some people like that, I suppose. I'm kind of like that on my birthday. I'm very much like just in the mood for treating it like another day, usually. I know some people that call it their birthday month and treat every day of the month like their birthday. Some people even like to have 2 days of the year after them to celebrate. Jesus.
Y'all should hang out more.
Yeah, well, you know, work.
It's interesting though, because, you know, there is another layer to this episode which I think a lot of people won't focus on by the end because of where they take this. But, you know, it's essentially a little bit about losing your youth and nostalgia as well, because it is such a great feeling when you catch up with an old friend, and it is such a great feeling when you reconnect with something you both connected with, you know, back in the day. Like, to this day, it would be amazing, I think, if some of my friends had sat and played, you know, Sonic or Mario with, and, you know, it would be crazy if I bumped into one of them and they had their family and all that, and they were like, you know what, I randomly have Mario set up, and I was like, oh shit, should we play a 2-player? You know, it would be so amazing. So this episode is touching on a lot of those points, but by the end of this, you know, no one will be thinking about that shit. So let me just get it in there before they start fucking.
The app says that we need to do it within the hour. It's peak fertility.
Oh my god. You wouldn't catch me trying to create a baby based on when the app tells me I need to fuck someone. That app can go fuck itself. Oh, here we go. And if you were looking at like the HUD of the screen and that, just to get in a bit of console geekery for a moment, it looks like a, you know, Xbox 10, 20 years in the future maybe.
What are you playing? Something goddamn boring is what I'm guessing.
All right, you got me.
Yo, Tetris is not boring. Did you know that it was created using a combination of all the possible stacking variations of tetrahedrons?
Okay, what do I do?
Oh.
And stick it upside your head.
Left or right side?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I completely forget this part. You know, I do remember we see their eyes in that zombie state very much like the entire History of You episode. Now that I see them putting that chip on the side of their head. But I remembered it like they had full-on Oculus Rifts on their heads. It's weird how a memory can change like that. I literally, in my head, remember the vision of these guys sitting back on the sofas, just as they are now, except with full-on visors rather than the little chip. How strange is it how the memory works? That's crazy. And if I'd never have rewatched this again, that image would have came to my head when I thought of the episode. That is fucking incredible though. I see people sometimes playing like Fallout and Skyrim in an Oculus Rift, and that's just, you know, a trick of the eyes, but when the technology gets to this level, oh fucking, I'll be like one of them people in Ready Player One, headset on all day, fuck reality. This is definitely better than reality.
You're just as impressive? Check this shit out.
That's quite interesting though. I didn't realise that. I thought at first they just treated it like a regular game, do you know what I'm saying? But the fact they instantly conversed and had a little bit of flirting, pointing out her tits and things like that. Again, foreshadowing that I never noticed the first time I watched it.
It does!
When you break it down like that, this is a fucking evil present to give your friend. You know, you're already great at it. It causes legitimate physical sensations, and you give it to your friend who's 11 years out of practice, and then just legitimately kick the shit out of him on it. Yeah, happy birthday, bitch.
Is that the best you can do, man?
Now make a wish.
I can't even remember what moves this guy can do.
If you can't remember how to do a Hadouken, you have received legitimate brain trauma in round 1. Yeah, like, looking back, this is all innuendoous as fuck. It's so funny how much of this I missed first time round and just thought, oh, this is a good fight. She literally pussy slammed him in the face and I was like, yeah, good move. The fact that she initiated it. I'm not saying like he really wants to do that to his friend, but he's certainly like, you know, he's been a dude his whole life and wanted to kiss the dude in the game, but was it because he was playing as a full female?
How'd I get out of here?
Exit game!
It's actually too complicated to figure out, you know. I'm sure someone who is really good at maths and also sociology could literally write the sum down on a bit of paper and tell me what the correct outcome of that is, but to my mind, it just seems too confusing to actually figure out.
Hello. Where did he come from?
It's probably a bit harrowing to him just now that you chose the reach around. Wow, that's insane. A holographic pinball machine what you can just rotate between different designs. You are asking to go back on striking Vipers playing Tetris again, mate. Don't make me bring up the fucking tetrahedrons again.
Last time we played, I was drunk, man. From the party.
Me too.
What's interesting as well is, this is like probably a conversation that has been had between people who have been bisexual and just always consider themselves heterosexual, and then maybe both got drunk at a party and done something. You know, the awkwardness they would wake up to the next day and the conversations they would have. It's like they've put that into this episode as well.
About to kick your ass, motherfucker.
Yeah?
Like in the alternate attires, guys? The fucking trap beat with the horn going off in the background while they're both just zombies staring into space. It's a very unique combination of artistic elements there. I mean, it's just creepy to see those eyes again. I still remember them from the entire history of You when they were having sex in the bed and both envisioning an earlier time they had sex with more electricity and passion to help them both orgasm. Such a creepy shot. Wow, so they just full on just fucked. That was it, no fight. How does the game determine a winner in that scenario?
You finished?
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, thank you.
Did Anthony Mackie get this role pre or post his inclusion into the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I figured my period was late, and I hoped it was. Yeah, it came on while I was out, so.
And I guess they added that moment in as an excuse so that he wouldn't need to have the regular sex with his wife he should be having, or that him hooking up with his friend ruined the chance to actually conceive a kid with his actual wife. All these little moments between family really do add more to the conceptual side of this episode. Definitely the part I'm appreciating most upon rewatching it thus far. But I mean, you know, of course you'd be moping. You got that Chung-Li pussy a touch of a button away. Not easy. Wow, 3 attires. This has got to be DLC. No way a video game would give you 3 for free nowadays. I will never get used to them fucking zombie eyes, I swear to God. It's actually creepier than full zombie makeup just seeing a completely emotionless mute human, but with those whitened eyes. I haven't mentioned it in a while, but as the lighting changed there, we were getting the orange flicker of light as it lit, and then going to like a blue-green every time the light went out. They're still killing it with the colour combinations here.
I'm sorry, baby. I'm just tired, okay?
Surely she's gonna know something's up now. That's not gonna sit well. Yeah, this is one of them types of sex that probably looks better cinematically than it would ever feel. Getting stung by jellyfish and getting sand in your vagina and shit. Bit of seaweed hanging off your toes. Now, this is the part that makes it something different, because he's not just, you know, having sex with Chong-Li anymore. They're spending time within this thing, you know, spending time bonding. And this is what makes it a relationship between these two people, whether they're in a simulation or not. Surely she's gonna notice something is up. Wow. Oh shit. Now, if she doesn't know something was up before, she is definitely going to know now. I mean, how else can she take that recent behaviour? He's clearly being different in every single way. Not initiating any sort of sex with her, and on top of that, now forgetting their wedding anniversary. And of course, because it's becoming routine, this guy will feel legitimately, you know, dejected from that. I guess this episode also explores addictions in a certain way as well.
I was just gonna ask if I could buy you a drink.
I'm sorry.
Gotta feel bad for her now, showing the contrast in faithfulness like that. She's just trying to make shit work over here. Doesn't know what's going on with him.
Is something going on?
Something going on.
That's what I said.
Nothing.
And fair play, she started the conversation peacefully, but she did want to get that shit off her chest. At this point, she would be thinking like that because of how different he's been in every single way, and you can't blame her.
I'll always want you.
No, you know what I mean. I mean, me, this.
Ah, this is a bit rough. So shitty for her.
I know that I'm not what I was. My body is not what it was since Tyler.
Don't say that.
It's horrible that someone even start thinking along those lines.
Why don't you want me? You always used to want me.
I mean, at this point, the best thing he could do is just level with her exactly what is happening. She's giving him 100% honesty. She's got his back through life, and all she wants is to know what's going on, and I feel like she deserves to have things make sense in her head by being told the truth, because so many things would click into place when she knows. And then they can either work through it or separate from it, but at least he's given her what she deserves.
Nothing is going on. I promise.
Is that A, technically true, B, a smart decision to try and put her mind at ease again with another lie, or C, some dumb shit and he should have told her the truth? Is he having trouble achieving orgasm with a regular human female now?
You worrying about your work again?
I think so.
And obviously, now that guy's used to feeling female orgasms, he'll think these male orgasms are shit. I do remember it not ending like this, but at least there's a period where he really tried his best, because she fucking laid her case out very convincingly. At the same time though, he shouldn't be ignoring his friend. What is his issue with honesty? He should have just been like, look man, my wife had a heart with me and she's right. We can't do this shit.
I can't do it anymore. It's not fair to Thea.
But it's not cheating. It's not real.
Oh, there you go. That's exactly what I was saying he should do. Okay, cool. At least he's being honest to this guy. But I disagree with that guy's assessment that it's like porn. It is vastly A, superior to porn, and B, more morally conflicted than it when it comes to relationships and what is cheating and what is not, etc.
Happy birthday.
Okay, so an entire year has passed since their initial hookup. This will be like 7 months since he told them that he can't play with him anymore, and they have successfully got a baby on the way. You can't say he made a bad decision. Might have been difficult, but he did the right thing for his future. Is one perspective. The other perspective is, he could have fucked Chong-Li for the rest of his life and died via orgasm-fueled heart attack as a happy old man, but can't always get what you want in life.
He had a point though, because we were loud.
That little subtle piece of acting there, he's trying his hardest to engage in the story of the guy's wife, but at the same time he's constantly flicking his head across looking for the guy's reactions.
What am I, like your ex-wife or something?
Look, it's too strange, okay?
Surely this guy can understand why he sees like that, but his response is more like an addict, do you know what I'm saying?
I tried fucking the computer-controlled characters. It's bullshit. It's like a rubber doll. I'm programmed for any sex stuff. They just sort of lie there.
Oh god. That sounds really assaulty. You could have at least played some multiplayer matches and met someone else online who was down to fuck.
I've gone in there as God players, girl players, multiplayer gangbangs, you name it.
Oh, multiplayer gangbangs. Okay, he's tried everything. So what he really wants is this guy then. It's something to do with this guy's personality in that, you know, behind the character he picks. It's really him.
One last time, you know you want to. One last time. One last time.
This guy is coming across really, really pushy.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Lord, hug each other.
Yeah, whatever happened to the dick to dick? There you go. This is so well written though. Again, so much of this without the simulation concept still would be relevant, even if it was completely cast different with one female and one male. All those aspects are like it becoming an addictive relationship, and then after it's finished, one person really pushingly trying to reignite it and one person trying to do the right thing, etc. There's so many layers of this which would have worked in a story that actually wasn't science fiction. I mean, I know I should be distracted by the fingers in mouth hot sex scene, but I'm actually surprised by the fact there is yet another, fourth, alternate attire to these characters. This has got to be DLC at this point. Surely you don't get to bang her up against a window without giving EA Sports an extra £5. Isn't that how it works? See, again though, this is the shit that pushes it past the point of the simulation. This is romance, what they are engaging in just now. It's not foreplay.
I don't know where that came from.
Where the fuck does this go?
I like how there's the game over sign in the background, like it's foreshadowing the end of their friendship.
Who says it has to end? Huh?
I mean, yeah, technically, he could live his entire life being a family man and then at night sit down and go into his little digital game and have some fun. But in order for that to be a functioning lifestyle, he would have to tell his wife and get her to agree to it. I think she would probably leave him first. I don't remember them meeting in real life like this either.
It's the only way. We gotta know. No, if they're fireworks, then okay.
But I don't think this is what they were ever actually addicted to. I genuinely think it's more complex than that, and they got addicted to the video game side of it.
You want me to start?
I don't know. Yeah.
I always lead into my kisses with a little 3-punch combo as well. Catches them off guard. They never block. If anything, they give you their face.
Nope. Not a damn thing.
See what I mean? I don't think either of them really are, like, attracted to one another in real life like that. This is a really complex, future, modern issue that human brains haven't even fucking, you know, figured out yet. I don't remember this shit either. That whole scene, I do not remember it whatsoever, and I wasn't distracted while watching this episode the first time. It must have just fallen out of my head because it's been a bunch of years, maybe even like 4 or 5. Now, come on, bro. At this point, you have to explain to your wife exactly what is going on.
Holy fuck! Talk to me!
Yeah, for real. He's riding home like a child that's gotten in trouble. Oh, so do you think he did tell her? I hope he did tell her. She deserved the truth. If he's told her and she's moved past it and stayed with him, you have to respect her. She seems like such a nice, supportive wife.
As long
And you know, at least this guy's got a cat.
as heart and soul are yours, and all that I
Oh shit, she's divorcing him. I don't quite get this ending, so is the ending suggesting she divorced him then gave him his little chip back? I'm not exactly sure.
love you.
You ready?
Till then. I'm ready.
Yeah, and this is how I remember the episode ending, with these guys just in their zombified happy state in the simulation. Also, 5th alternate attire, this is just unrealistic. Wow, what a finishing shot, and a fun day for those actors if they got to go up there for real. Today you're gonna get paid thousands of dollars to go to the top of a block of flats and fuck on the roof. Okay, and that concludes episode 1 of season 5 of Black Mirror Striking Vipers, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So there we are, guys. That was the trial run of what it would be like if I was to react to something which I had seen before. So if it is something you guys ever want to see in future, you know, there's a laundry list of shows I would be happy to do that with for this channel. Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, Sopranos, Boardwalk Empire, The Twilight Zone, the list is endless really. So yeah, it was an interesting experiment, and I didn't feel like it sort of, you know, took me away from what I normally do in any way, because I was still very interested in it, analysing things I'd forgotten about and things I remembered differently, etc. So I felt like it was just a normal reaction, even though this is the one that I had seen before. And I don't want to repeat myself, so it's obviously incredibly complex as to what exactly it was going on between the two of them. So I'm not going to go into that during this, but I will say the actual plot of it is incredible, because again, this is not too far away. Like I said, I've seen people playing Skyrim and Fallout with Oculus Rifts, and yes, that is only your ears and your eyes really getting controlled, and the rest of your senses still know you're sitting in a fucking chair playing that shit. But you know, inevitably at some point in the future they will connect every single sense, the nervous system and the brain perhaps, directly into video games, creating a fully realised experience, and then things like this will be new things which are issues created from that technology now being available to the public. So yeah, even on a technological level, it's very clever. But what I was saying during the episode as well is that the fact that it had all the additional fleshed out family to add real impact into their actions, I can't believe I forgot about that after watching it for the first time, because when you think about it, the episode would have had no weight behind it if it was just two single dudes sitting on their sofas with this situation. Whether or not they had all that shit of them meeting up in real life and all the awkwardness between the two of them, yes, that is a layer which makes it deeper than just the premise, but the additional layers of how it affects those around them really impacts it on several extra levels. So it's a really good choice that they had all the family scenes, and surprising to me, I didn't remember any of them. And yeah, another point that things like this and Ready Player One and other things bring up, and I mean, I've already admitted to it during this episode, like, look, when this shit gets indistinguishable from reality, and you can either spend your day in some shitty environment with not much money and stuff like that, or instantly put on this shit and be on a tropical beach and do whatever you want, where would you go? Where would you spend your time? Would reality really be preferable to that? If it was indistinguishable from reality, it would surely just be an alternate digital reality. Technically, on some levels, it would be a reality, just not a shitty one. So yeah, take me there. So I don't even see it as like a bad ending the way it ended. I see it as an inevitable one, and if anything, a bit of a happy ending, because at least that guy's wife gets to go out and meet someone new who will appreciate her, and he and his friend get to do what they want to do, which is just fucking the simulation until the end of time. So everybody gets what they want. How can you interpret that as anything but a happy ending? Well, perhaps, except maybe for their son, who now has to go to school every day and have all the other kids point at him and laugh, saying your dad, you know, fucks Chung-Li in a video game or whatever. I don't know how school bullying mixed with virtual sex works, but I'm sure people will find a way to use it as a weapon. And it was a return of the creepy fucking zombie eyes. They will never get normal to me. Ever since the entire history of you, I've always thought about that creepy, just whitened, lensed eye that they get when they're in some sort of simulation with the little piece on their temple, and it's just an eerie image, and I can't fully put my finger on what makes that so eerie, except it's like uncanny valley, because they're still humans, but they are void of all human emotion anymore, so there's an alien quality to it because of that, I suppose. And I think that's why visually it's such an unnerving image. But regardless, I thought this first episode was great, was more than happy to rewatch it as well. All these these Black Mirror episodes are so rewatchable, especially since I hadn't even seen this one, you know, since the first time I saw it, which was years ago. And I've watched every episode I've reacted to multiple times, and when I've watched them the second times, and some of them the third time, I've found them just as entertaining as the first, because there's always foreshadowing you miss in a Black Mirror episode, because you're trying to pay attention to what's gonna mean something later on and what's not, and sometimes the way these are written, the thing you think is gonna mean something later doesn't, but you've been focusing on that, so they slip the real foreshadowing through in the lines of dialogue you weren't paying attention to, if that makes sense. And because of that, every single one of these episodes has replay value. So yeah, fully enjoyed watching this, and I cannot wait to see an episode next week that I have never seen before. If you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below, and share these videos around to anyone you think might appreciate them. My Patreon is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.